Yeah, if you guys haven't gone onto like Bilibili, the Chinese video, like Chinese Twitch equivalent, definitely worth checking it out. There's quite a few people streaming this game and tournaments run there that, you know, if you seek, you could find them.
This lobby has a lot more off-meta picks, I think. We have 2 sword set characters versus the 0 we had in the last lobby.
I'm seeing Li Chengyin, a brave character to queue into a tournament. Liu Jianxin, who I feel like has quietly had a little bit of a renaissance as the season has gone on. Ming
That's
Ming.
a 2 max HP Mirage. Spirited Sword, Lu Zhanshin, Fletch. Qing Wang Yo taking Shattered Dao. Child also Shattered Dao. Spirited Sword, Li Chengyun. That's the Chain Sword.
Very good.
Someone want to translate those other comprehends for me? Those teams in the tournament, interesting. And then we also have a Feng Shu in the lobby.
Yes, another character who.
So very, other than the Ximing and the Child are the same, and then otherwise like very different cast, but still like for the most part.
Yeah.
Like the strongest meta characters.
Also worth noting that the Jiang Ximing from the last game, Hong Niao, is now playing Nangongsheng. This is the Nangongsheng that this Li Chengyun is fighting. So yeah. there might be a forced character rotation in play, I'm guessing.
Yes, that seems plausible.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, if you have the opportunity to play Jiang Ximing every game, incessant Feng Shu.
I have some thoughts on incessant Feng Shu.
It just got buffed, but the tournament was before then, so this is still the bad version. Li Chengyun taking down some early wins.
That's a good start. Nice strong opener.
Qi Wang Yo playing normal attack.
also a common thing you sometimes have to do with 5e.
Yep. Interesting. It's interesting to me that the Chinese community seems to mostly favor Child over Qi Wang Yo for UWF still.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Obviously last game we had 2 Nangongsheng. We got Nangongsheng here. We know that Nangongsheng Fight Master is the highest win rate, the highest first rate or whatever in the last month statistics, which obviously those stats don't mean the thing I just said exactly. But at the very least it means people are still playing this board and are still having results with it. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's definitely interesting to think that like no one's playing Needle and people are still playing like the Qi Wang Yo board that arguably is just like the board that's arguably entirely outclassed by Qi Wang Yo now.
I do wonder if it's just like the advantage of Nangongsheng having a much more sort of explosive mid game available to them. You have to spend more rolls to find your board on Qi Wang Yo. You're not fast, whereas Nangongsheng is fast, so you're much more vulnerable to opponents who are trying to like land Rup Sprites or weakens or sides against you. I'm not too sure exactly what the reasoning is, but I
think Child's also a bit more consistent on tier 5 because you kind of only need the UWF because you get the seal for free.
Definitely, that's definitely part of it too.
Like you don't have to find Willow Leaf because you just get Wood Seal for free every game.
Yeah, and side on turn 2 versus side on turn 3, on your opponent's turn 2 versus your opponent's turn 3 is a pretty significant difference. That was if you were playing Plant Master Qi Wang Yo, which people don't really do. It's mostly Elixir or Fuluist, I think. Plant Master comes up occasionally.
This one is Fulu,
yeah.
Epiphany Blacksmith. Lots of tier 2 epiphanies in this tournament.
I love it. I love taking Epiphany on tier 2 whenever I can get away with it.
Yeah, I have not been rolling on 1 much with any characters lately, so I have... Also, I haven't been playing many characters that have tier 2s you can skip.
Yeah, sure. That definitely
I've been playing a lot of Xian and Tiger, who both have, like, crazy strong tier 2 abilities.
Absolutely.
But, like, on characters that can take tier 2 Epiphany, it's one of the better choices. Especially if you're, like, something like Painter Long Yao, who's already spending all their rolls on 1 anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. And Epiphany is one of those fates where even if you have to absorb take the full hit of 3 exchanges, it's still often worth it. So if you don't get that, then...
Looking at these omens, we see Zhang Ximing with draw 1, Ming Ming has Soul Seizing, the other Zhang Ximing has Cycle.
So this is Musician Ming Ming?
I think it was Musician Ming Ming, yes.
Okay.
Li Changyun locking a Dharma. Picking Windrose, skipping Storchi, which I think I agree with, even on Dharma. Hongshu is Formation Master.
Yes, Formation Master Incessant.
Taking the draw 1 along with Ji Wangyo. I did not see what the child player locked. It's draw 1.
Right.
So most people taking draw 1.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people getting a somewhat consequential card. And it looks like people are just like settling into the traditional side job choices as well.
Yeah. Other than
the exception of this Fengshu.
Yeah, Formation Fengshu, things are pretty by the numbers, I guess. I mean, Musician Ming Ming, I think, is not super common at the moment. I'd say Ming Ming has like 8 builds, 3 of which are good, and Musician I would consider one of the good ones, but also one that's like not played. Like you see a lot more like...
I mean, I think it's another one of those builds that you see a lot in tournaments and not a lot on ladder.
Definitely the case.
This Blacksmith breaking through very aggressively and not really having much to play on their board.
So they are Spirit Edge Sword, yeah? So their goal is to just take a bunch of speed, use the sword for a chase with Chi. I'm imagining +2 Chi and chase,
that's
and
the
then
usual
just not really...
everyone hates.
Yeah, and then take the Cloud Sword to make your Spirit Edge Sword chase.
Yeah, all or nothing here.
How do you feel about All or Nothing as a card?
I think it's very strong.
I think it's very hard to play. It is a very resource-intensive card.
On, like, when you're rolling. Like, the tier 1 Zhang Ximing boards generally can't support it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if you have to start playing rolling on tier 3, it's not that hard to just, like, set aside a, like, hexagram for it.
And I guess being Fortune Teller and having access to, like, Detect Chi, a card that makes, you know, a huge amount of Chi relative to the cards around it, definitely makes that a lot easier.
And if you can set it up, it is a lot of stats. You can play it without the hexagrams, too, and it's still, like, an average of, like, 11 attack, 11 defense.
Exactly what Titania has said in chat. It's the exact opposite of its name. You can just you can just play it for part of its value.
Yeah. Obviously, like, it sucks when you roll 2 and 2, but like...
Does it get the defense off the hexagram or the damage off the... If you have 1 hexagram, do you get the guaranteed damage or the guaranteed...
I believe the damage is first.
Sure. Oh, I mean, then it's a starburst with some upside.
Yeah.
Ji Wangyo taking her tier
3.
Pretty
Ji Wangyo top board has only won 1 fight, but Heavenly Rain is, of course, very strong.
Yes. Here. A card that I find extremely hard to justify skipping.
I think the top-rated Ji Wangyo players would agree with you on that one. Ming Ming finding their Heartbroken Tune.
Heartbroken Tune gone crazy. A classic.
3rd comprehended card, or 4th comprehended card seems to probably one of these cards on their board.
Could be, we have 4 contenders, I think. We have Soft Heart, Raven, and Here's the Star, plus Reflexive Sword. She's got to remember the tier 3 set cards.
The Reflexive Sword.
Reflexive Sword, okay.
As Zhang Ximing winning with 2 normals, Fleeting continues to be a very strong card. like letting you get away with like max Palm Thunder as your only real source
only
of damage.
Yeah,
Card is kind of messed up.
Chiwanyo is one of those characters who obviously like her innate fates are very, very strong. But they do. She is a character that has to draw her cards. Like she doesn't really get any combat support directly from her cards. And I'm trying to pick my words carefully to not imply that like her fates don't do a lot for her. They do.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. You can't break
like
through and put
as powerful as Chiwanyo is.
Mm.
There's definitely a difference between like the characters who have an absurd late game and the characters who have an absurd late game they also get every single game.
Yeah, like to draw the comparison to Nangongsheng, you know, you can just take your tier 3 and put all the seals that you've drawn on your board, and like that's gonna beat some people. Or, you know, Chinrei, take your Spring Rain. Obviously, I think the game sort of moved past the point where you would ever consider kicking your whole board to just play a single Spring Rain and all normals, but
yeah,
that's still
Chinrei definitely suffering from the power creep of people's tier 4 boards.
Yeah, but that's still something that was, you know, it doesn't take that much extra support for that card to carry you.
Yeah.
Alright, we've got two pretty similar looking boards here between the two Heptastar players. There's
I think people have kind of settled it on this being the best way to play Heptastar in the mid game.
I'm guessing there was an Endless Sword formation Mirage. So everybody has Endless Sword formation.
Yeah, Mirage is level 2 side jump cards. Crazy Dance Tune, Endless Sword formation. I think the third one was Splash Ink.
Okay. That does explain why everybody suddenly has sword. Has a Endless Sword formation on their board.
I think I remember we see a lot of these cards being relevant late on into the game. Like this Chiwanyo is taking a Crazy Dance Tune right now.
That's sensible. Yeah, that's a great card.
With Max Bud already on their board.
Oh, and it pays for it.
Child's getting extra value out of this Endless Sword formation with their Wood Seal.
That's quite an impactful tier 3 Mirage. Crazy Dance Tune.
Yeah.
On Chiwanyo, great. Endless Sword formation. Kind of a house in the mid game. It's like one of those cards that was like how you could justify picking Formation Master in the Sword Sect for a long time.
Ming Ming playing with Splash Ink too.
Splash Ink, one of those I don't think I'm going to win this fight cards. Unless.
Yeah, taking Solid Foundation on tier 4, which is interesting because I think that does mean they will have to break through a turn later.
It is -2 physique cap, right? So you go down from 56 to 54. So yeah, it'll delay you a whole turn.
Yeah. I don't think I saw a plus physique fade anywhere, because I think they took their tier 2 and tier 3 innates.
Yeah. No, that's not a free pick then. I do imagine Ming Ming will be pretty happy to play on for. Ming's
Bleaching Yun, very unfortunate to have that many good Spirit Sword cards and still lose the fight.
Yeah. That internal injury putting in a lot of work against her.
Yeah, those Raven Spirit Sword not really doing what you want it to be doing there.
Yeah, I'm sad we didn't get to see the Splash Ink roll from the Ming Ming, but...
Yeah. I do think the Painter cards don't get enough respect. Splash Ink maybe not really one that is as good, but like Falling Paper Clouds is a very good card. Divine Brush, as funny as it is actually quite good for when it comes online.
Yeah, Divine Brush is one of those cards that should probably be on your board a lot more than it is for most people. Like, a lot of the times if you're...
And I think it suffers from also, like, how people tend to play Painter.
Which is, like, to not...
Where it's one of those cards that's really good on tier 4, but most of the Painter playstyles are about rolling on 1 with practice writing and then greeting to tier 5.
Yeah, that's a good point. And especially because its upgrades are also very, very strong. Obviously playing level.
I've seen a lot of the turn one of your cards into Divine Brush Mirage this season, and I think like that one is just very strong.
You should keep an eye out for that one next time. Pick it up. Does it? It competes with the other draw a painter options, right?
Yeah. Like drawing 2 practice writings is definitely also tempting, but you can get a max Divine Brush with it. And like, especially if that Mirage shows up early, like playing a max Divine Brush on like round 6 is kind of absurd.
True. That is true.
Fengshu skipping their tier 3 and tier 4 innates.
I saw that, yeah.
So they are not planning on doing any sort of 5 Flunders things this game.
Seeing the 5 elements characters bullying the rest of the lobby a little bit at the moment.
Lee Cheng-yun picking up, I think, much needed win there.
47 is a very precarious spot for her.
Still only has 1 chase on their board.
This Li Jianshin also is starting to look a little bit perilous at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing Cloud Elixir and level 1 Spirit Gather as their G sources.
What mode
this
is
Moonwater not really lining up how they wanted it to.
Is that that sword making 3 defense? It is, right? So they're not using it for additional chi on their endgame board. They're just using it as a
I think
stick.
It's the traditional, like, just make a bunch of defense kind of board.
Sure.
The Moonwater being bad into Soul Stat continues to be
Yeah, it's a big stumbling
classic
point for
issue.
the deck.
Where you make your defense on turn 5, and then on turn 5 they play Fleeting, and then on turn 6 they play Soul Stat, and all your defense just falls off. And then you die to hit.
So Li Cheng-yun not taking her tier 4, so we're not taking advantage of the Rule Sky being the Chainsword rather being additional card on. We're just fully committed to the Dharma plan.
Yeah, they took Spirited Sword, locked to Dharma. I think they just don't believe in Understrand.
Makes sense. Honestly,
I didn't see what the other comprehended cards were, but maybe they just aren't good to chain.
Yeah.
Though I guess you can always chain Rule Sky.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. You lock a Dharma. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense to just lean into that. I think more so than try to win with Understrain. Understrain, another one of those boards that I think sees more play in like a ladder environment than a tournament environment.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting though that they picked Fuluist instead of Musician for Dharma.
Yeah, that's not really in vogue at the moment. Musician definitely the favored pick in general.
Especially in a lobby with like Jiang Ximing and Child, both boards that are like extremely weak to Predicament.
Well, Chiwang-yo not in a bad spot. Curious if they're gonna push their breakthrough.
Yeah, top board.
Curious if they're gonna be pushing their breakthrough.
On the other hand, not really doing so hot.
Yeah, his this is another spot where we're missing like a copy of something like Starry Moon, right?
Yeah, these Jiang Ximings have not been having good mid games so far.
Breaking
through, they're taking a while, so they're clearly not very happy with the options, so they recuperate.
There's no Windmill Slam. Yeah, recuperate.
There's a draw 2 cards Mirage at least.
Okay, that does bail them out quite a lot. Man, it's crazy that we're in an era where Polaris is just a snap. Like, Polaris, Heaven Hex, roll that shit away.
Yeah, Fletch certainly is a card. This is Jiang Ximing also taking Recuperate.
Alright, Chiwang-yo no longer the top board. I don't think this Jiang Ximing is likely to win this fight.
They have Strike twice Envelop.
Stranger things have happened.
Maybe that. They're Strike twisting the Mantis. I guess they're trying to figure out like what do you do with this like pile.
Yeah, it's unenviable. Up against
Child doing a little bit better
UWF,
with already a full UWF board here on round 11.
Yeah, Child knew what they needed to hit. They hit Thunder Trib instead of
Recuperate.
Recuperate.
Jiang Ximing who's about to take max.
Yeah. Hitting a Thunder Trib instead of Recuperate, I definitely would rather be on the Thunder Trib side of that equation.
They're the number 1 Jiang Ximing player, so they're probably like the person who most deserves to be able to beat up the other Jiang Ximing players.
That's the difference. Hong Yao would have.
And here we see Fengshu playing Anthemania.
Anthemania.
That's a lot of great spirits.
Taking advantage of the weaken on the chase into her tier 5.
Definitely accepting just going second by taking the tier 5 nowadays, because it is -2 cultivation.
Yeah, it's a big hit.
And if you're not playing the flaw, you are just breaking even on cultivation.
Yeah. If you play the card, Yeah, exactly what you said. So that was Chi Wang Yao taking advantage of that Crazy Dance tune that they picked up a very long time ago to win around there.
Yeah. That one can stay on their board forever, maybe. This Blacksmith probably did not set up... I don't know if what they were expecting the Feng Shui to play, but they probably should not have set up their board to spend as much chi as it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
because they have one chi generating card on their board, and they're spending 6 chi per cycle, so I think they are breaking even on chi.
Yeah, this
losing chi per cycle.
Raven Spirit Sword is not chasing because they're not at surplus. Yeah, I don't think anybody has ever expected that to be what the Feng Shui's tier 5 board was going to look like.
Yeah, Li Chengyun having a turn 6 kill with Dharma and just like getting killed faster by Crazy Dance Tune.
The combined tech of Crazy Dance Tune plus Disturbing Fulu, it's like an amalgamation of all the Chi Wang Yos.
Additional side job is pretty strong, I guess.
Free additional side job, even. She didn't have to spend a fate on it.
Yeah. It's Li Chengyun on 1 life, not really having much speed to go with, but they're probably still going first here.
Did pick up...
And their board is not seeming as strong as you really want it to be.
No.
Especially against Blacksmith, who's just going to block your Dharma.
Yeah. That being their board after a tier 5 wave adaptation is pretty rough. Here we're seeing the...
Ming Ming not being able to break through this turn either because they took Solid Foundation.
Exactly, yeah. Jiang Qiming hits Flash.
Jiang Qiming, after taking Recuperate and playing all those normals, shows up to round 12 with basically the entire board.
Mm-hmm. So the 2 Jiang Qimings looking pretty good. I'm not sure how the Chi Wang Yo's tier 5 board has developed. Has access to quite a lot of damage, at least. Full UWF Child. This monstrosity from Feng Shui. I think if Anthemania is good, then it makes sense to play a board. Something like this.
Feng Shui with level 2 Tiger is this permanent weekend with the Shade Scroll too.
Sure, yeah. Oh, that's cute. Using this damage. A permanent, yeah, 50% cut. it's very cute. I'm curious if it's...
and they have level 2 Anthemania with Echo too, so their board is looking pretty strong.
This Jiang Qiming did not show up with Everything Goes Your Way to try to fade the attack down, so the Anthemania is gonna do its
also,
thing.
the placement of the Jade Scroll means it gets sighted every cycle, which is probably actually good for the Feng Shui overall.
To not have to play it, yeah. And this Jiang Qiming is gonna run out of cycle before the end of the fight, though.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Now they get to full chase even through side.
Yeah. Well.
Or normally you would get like one of your Great Spirits permanently skip.
A pretty good showing for the formation, but I mean, when Anthemania is good, Anthemania is really good. This board looked a little bit less good against... Yeah, this board looks a little bit less good against the Jiang Qiming. Crazy Dance Tune without UWF still, in fact, does have a downside. You do give your opponent a lot of extra damage if you're not chasing off it.
Li Chengyun does not manage to get there with their Dharma board.
Unlucky. It's a long road.
Yeah, this board with all level 1 cards other than the Dharma, just like not cutting it.
Yeah, it's kind of a long road.
After Shatter Down and Wave Adaptation.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, honestly, to not hit more than like the single Divine Walk Fulu, still be playing like level 1 Spirit Gather Chittadama, level 1 Thousand Evils, just no card quality of seeing quite a lot of cards.
I feel like that's every one of my Dharma games.
Well, I was gonna say, it's kind of like a long road to the average Li Chengyun ladder experience of they join the game and then immediately drop and go 8th. Speaking of average experience, this Chi Wang Yo here, not hitting UWF, so
they're pretty strong considering.
Yeah, they're not in the worst spot. I mean, playing turn 1 Crazy Dance Tune and then not attacking until turn 3 is gonna leave you dead in a lot of spots, but I like the adaptation.
That next bud is hitting for like 50 damage.
True. Once you start attacking, you just start attacking for a lot. But yeah, it's. I mean, even boards that are not multi-hit, Crazed Dance Tune still does quite a lot of damage to you. It's kind of like having a bunch of, like, giving yourself a bunch of internal injuries.
So I do appreciate them holding a calm incantation.
Yep. It's
which I don't know how you put that on your board. Presumably that's to play around the weaken from the Ming Ming.
Yeah, it's a really hard card to fit in.
I guess there's also an Anthemania player in the lobby.
Yeah, it's a hard card to fit in because you just end up like making way too much G. But when it's good, it's much better than just playing like one of your other random Fulus or something.
And making way too much G can be really good against, like, if you're playing Fragrant against an Anthemania board.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you get a million attack up and you clear the attack down. Junction Ming playing Point here, which doesn't really do anything, but they still win the fight.
It's interesting. So the Ming Ming took tier 5 on Boundary Battle, and they have a max Finest tune on their board. So I'm imagining their plan at the moment is to try to ride that line as close as possible to get full value out of the tier 5 on Bound. Because the Destiny is not that high, but they probably can lose another, like, 1-2 fights, I think.
If both child players have Vine.
Child player has Vine as early as possible, but does not have the attack up to beat.
It's also like last lobby. We have 2 child players who both have. Oh, it's the same child player. So they're fighting someone playing their ghost.
Yeah, the Weaken plus Anthemania. So Weaken or Anthemania often struggles to overcome UWF, but the two of them together typically get the job done in most spots.
Yeah, it's like getting hit by Vine and still just like taking it down pretty easily. Being able to play multiple Great Spirits is something that the Tenchion version can't do usually. Which definitely an upside when your opponent is like relying on Heartfire for a lot of their damage.
For sure. Yeah, being able to basically blank the Fire Spirit part of Heartfire is no joke. Turning it into Windsword.
Yeah. So the Jiangxi Ming fighting the other Jiangxi Ming. I think their board. They have the full board already.
And say 3
and a whole bunch of good tech cards.
Yeah.
Feng Shu switching over to a HHH board now, and we see the Incessant coming into play.
So, I tried this board in one of my games, and it did not perform as well as I would like. I'm curious to see how it develops in this tournament. I think.
Well, it's round 14, and they have a lot of gold cards.
I think
I do think a big part of it is they hit level 2 Anthemania and 2 Great Spirits and 2 Echoes already. They've won a lot of these fights because of the Great Spirit and Anthemania, and if you don't hit those, it seems like it's going to be a lot worse.
I think you could maybe simplify it even down and say, like, if you're in a lobby where Anthemania is good, this is an option to consider.
Yeah,
it's a way to play a board.
Behind taking Information Master, right?
Exactly. It's a way to play Anthemania and then have another board similar to like Tenchion's HHH board that you can audible into in situations where that's not good. And maybe it doesn't win as much as her board does, but if it's a thing you want to be doing, then it's good.
I think this weekend here seemed to have been a mistake.
Yeah, she ended up.
You don't really want to be weakening this whole leaving board.
Yeah, she ended up getting that Heartbroken, that Concentric Tune back to her, which never feels good.
And also, like, it cost her a full turn because she got anti-chased.
The Hong Yao child defeating one person and then their ghost defeating a second person. So they are.
Jiangxi Ming taking Recuperate and then still getting eliminated in 7th.
Yeah, I think that's something that happens a lot with tier 5 Recuperate, to be honest. Especially if you've broken through.
It's a lot of Destiny, but it's also only like 1 round worth of Destiny.
Yeah, and especially if you've broken through hoping to hit like card draw and you have to Recuperate, it's like you're so far behind where you want to be on power that 30 Destiny evaporates extremely quickly.
That was a very good turn for Blacksmith, drawing Chainsword and the Mirage, also giving them Merle Sky.
And they've maxed...
They still don't have Pierce the Star, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've maxed their Elixir as well, or rather have 2 level 2 copies of it, which is another really good one to pick up.
One thing they can do here is the sword does give itself chase in the second cycle if you don't play any other Cloud Swords. So I do wonder if they'll try to take advantage of that, or just like if that's too slow.
I think against like maybe the Feng Shui, that would be a good line. I feel like against everybody else, your fight is not lasting that long.
Feng Shui finding the Meru formation, so they do now have a 3-turn cycle. And permanent weaken from turn 2.
And Anthemania plus weaken, as we just said, typically pretty good against these multi-hit 5 elements boards, so just got to be pretty happy. The Shiwangyo, I don't know if they've got a UWF yet. They didn't last time we saw them, so they might just be...
I think they don't.
Then in that case,
at this stage, I do think the Feng Shui board is worse than the equivalent Tenchion board, because you have Max Tiger, so the scroll isn't really doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
Versus you could be playing an escape plan in the chase slot as... You could be playing Traces plus escape plan instead of the weaken plus the scroll.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
or Traces plus die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, so this child is a lot faster than the Zhang Shiming, so, you know, like we sort of said, these are good matchups to be playing ahead from. The Zhang Shiming does
We see this Zhang Shiming playing around Vine really well, though, here. Like, they are not chasing on turns 2, 3, or 4 because of where they put that HHH.
Yeah, and I was going to say, they've also got the Hexproof at the start of the fight as well, so the Vine is very...
And they skip the Wood Seal.
Skip the Wood Seal, so Child has only 2 attack up here.
And then skipping the Heartfire, almost getting there.
Really close. I think actually the skip on the Heartfire killed them, right? Heartfire doesn't do enough damage.
No, I think it was the 2 Divine Power Graphs and 4 Internal Injury Plants.
Well, combination of factors.
Yeah. But they did play that very well.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we're seeing the Calm Incantation.
You can't really beat that many plants.
This,
there's the Calm Incantation as predicted.
Yeah, this fight looked extremely dire for the Chiwangyo, but just keeping that level 1 Calm Incantation around was enough for them to stay ahead of the Anthemania and the Weekend for that matter.
Definitely a card I played a lot of last season when there was like a very large number of Formation Master Tenchions running around.
That Liu Jianshin getting eliminated after hitting their board. Like, their board looked quite strong on that last round, but...
Did you see who they were fighting against?
I did not catch it. I don't know if chat maybe saw.
I would go back, but I'm already worried that we're not going to finish this.
Yeah.
2 times speed is too fast to catch the details, unfortunately.
This Zhang Shiming's board looks great. Ming Ming also looking very strong. They've got their predicament. Max...
Feng Shui with Echoing Repel. I haven't seen that in a while. I don't really believe in it here.
I don't really either, but
I think when you're going second against a board that's playing Max Heartfire...
Probably the Ming Ming, that makes sense.
Like, this turn 3 weekend is not doing enough, and they are circling a Fragrant.
And it looks like here they're trying to... Shadowbox. They're trying to beat Vine as well. They're trying to assemble a board that doesn't chase until after Vine lands, but...
Unfortunately, it's a late Vine.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it is a late Vine, so that looks like that's also going to...
And Child only has 1 attack on their board here.
Yeah, the Blazing Prairie is their only attack. I mean, that's... You know, it's a bit risky against a board that's...
The unfortunate thing is, like, you try to play around Anthemania, and you also just, like, end up incidentally playing around Repel.
True. Yeah, exactly.
Xian still not having a UWF.
Yeah, her board is solid now. You have an 8 gives you 3 attack up with the Fragrant, I believe. So then that plus the Willow Leaf. Yeah, it gives you a lot, but I think it's not good enough to compete with like around 16.
I'm holding a lot of cards too. Like, they might go second here.
It looks like that's what they're saying they will.
Yeah, they're going second by a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they're just gonna get destroyed by this Weekend inside.
Yeah.
The Max side.
Max side does deal an absurd amount of damage, which definitely contributes here. Alright. Chiwang, you're never drawing
Chiwang gets
Idalia,
eliminated, I
getting
think.
eliminated.
Looks like Feng Shui also gets eliminated. Yeah. They do kill the child, for what it's worth.
Yeah, unfortunately, the child just gets back up. And they're at minus 58. So
Ming Ming kind of destroying everyone.
Yep, Ming Ming winning.
They've only lost one fight since taking Unbowed.
You know, that in a way that's kind of bad, right? Because now they're at the point where they might just get eliminated from 30 Destiny if a fight goes particularly badly.
Yeah, they will die if they take Max.
So they.
On the other hand, like winning all your fights is pretty good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you, as much as you, it would be.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same player who was playing Shabu last game.
Okay, that's a clever switch up.
But we do see musician Duan Xuan taking down another lobby pretty effectively here.
Yeah, just sort of dismantling opponents along the way. I'd be curious to see how this fight goes.
They're still stuck playing this weekend, which probably should not be in play.
Yeah. Surely we swap that out for like this Hunter becomes Prayer. Like the weekend is just a net negative for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or like the point maybe.
Yeah, I think anything.
They have been holding this point for a very long time. I think they're still respecting Predicament too, which is not being played here. So.
Yeah, Ming Ming has the full 30 agility setup. If they go second, they will not get the bonus chase. Though there's worse fates than having your Crane Footwork sided.
I think I remember how this game ends. This was actually a very interesting endgame. It's kind of refreshing to see like these Jiangximing players actually like holding a lot of different tech cards as opposed to like usually the ones on ladder just like never changing their board.
Yeah, just sort of slamming the same thing over and over for sure.
Like even though I still hate this board, it is definitely refreshing to see. Oh, this child player also playing around Predicament against Ming Ming's Ghost.
Ming Ming just like, to need it. You can do whatever you want.
I think Ming Ming is probably going to win both these fights because of that.
Some pretty important sequencing from this Ming Ming, I think that we'll see here. Playing the Soul Seizing on their turn 2. So obviously they got skipped here, but the board of Shuroro into Soul Seizing into Weaken, Concentric, or Soul Cleaving. Something to keep in mind if you're looking to play this board is that playing Ghost Howling on 2 does not give you any defensive stats. So you're usually better off playing the Soul Seizing on 2 just to make sure you heal enough to not die on your opponent's turn 3. And then you can combine the Weaken and the Soul Cleaving or Concentric the next turn to land the Weaken.
And also, if it's Concentric, you do get 3 Weaken applied instead of 2, which is another upside.
Yes, also valuable. And an extra hit, 1 force on your Soul Cleaving in that spot too. But I think the main thing is...
we see Max Cycle of Fate here. I'm not really willing to play 2 of them.
That's interesting. I feel like I've seen a lot of Jiangximings playing 2 of them in different spots.
Same, yeah. I think like they're just deciding that with Max side, they're just gonna kill before they get back to the second, to like where they would skip the second consumption card again.
That's fair. We're definitely reaching a point in the lobby where fights are going to be determined in 3 or 4 turns.
On the other hand, this child player respecting the hexproof and cutting their Vine for Combined World.
I like cutting the Vine. I don't know how I feel about the Combined.
Well, against a Jiangximing player who's not playing that many multi-hits or chases, it probably does a lot. And it looks like the water seal. It looks like the Cirque is getting skipped here, which is a lot better than the water seal getting skipped.
Sure.
If the Jiangximing moves their side to the other slot, it could be really terrible. Oh.
Yep, Vine's back on.
Well, now the water seal is getting skipped.
Now this is much worse.
Yeah, that seems like... Oh, well... it seems like there's... some amount of mind games going on here where Zhang Ximing's trying to decide is the water seal going to be on turn 2 or on turn 3 or turn 4.
I think I like running the weaken over the point at the very least. Like, at least you know that will do something.
Yeah. And it looks like the side is going to skip the water seal after all.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you are supposed to play your water seal on turn 2, just so you never lose that mind game.
Side is tough to beat in this spot. Side very good against UWF.
You see a hexproof being triggered twice, just completely nullifying the vine.
Yep.
That is child eliminated from the lobby.
Child eliminated. So Ming Ming wins because...
Also losing to Ming Ming, who gets a free predicament off against Child's Ghost.
I was going to say, whoever she fights, she knows predicament is live, so... Zhang Ximing versus Musician Ming Ming. Once again, seeing a Musician DX board in the finals. Again, I think like we were saying earlier, if you have only been playing ladder, this might not be what you'd expect from Ming Ming in the finals, though you probably would anticipate the Zhang Ximing.
Yeah, well, Zhang Ximing doesn't really do anything else anymore.
Yeah, this is just his life.
This board is kind of broken.
Yeah, just
finally finding their first copy of Fly.
Okay, that opens up their lines a little bit more.
Well, I think they rolled it away.
Ah, well. Nevertheless, I guess they've decided that they want to be playing these 10 cards no matter what.
6 copies of Shuror.
It's an awful lot of Shuror.
Seems like they're just like abandoning the idea of weakening in exchange for
piling on damage.
Yeah. They're the max hexproof and max cycle of fate. It's a lot of defensive stats though.
Round 19 board starting to look extremely optimized now. Max HHH here as well. We're doing the double sideline. Side into...
Max HHH with no post-action cards, a little bit worse.
You just gotta get back to that side as quickly as you can.
But yeah, I think the idea is just you play side twice and then let the internal injury do the rest of the work for you.
Yeah, makes good sense.
Because their board doesn't really do anything after they play the side. Like, they go Fletch, stun, Fletch, side, but if they get predicamented, then... Those Fletches are actually like
just spinning wheels.
Normal Astro Fletch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit sadder.
Non-Mirage Fletch. And they are getting predicamented here.
Yeah, yeah. We see Ming Ming's got it on her board.
Ming Ming playing the bad Shuror first so that it will get sided. Another good technique thing.
This is one of those matchups though where side just being a card that deals 30 damage is very important though. Like, it's such a huge percentage of Ming Ming's HP that
and there is boards especially struggle to play around side because you can't insulate with chases like you normally would.
Yeah.
You know, like here it's skip the max soul seething and a level 2 Shuror. And that does just barely enough for Zhang Ximing to win, but not enough for them to eliminate the Ming Ming.
Well, Ming Ming gets her extra stat boost. But now it's a really rough spot to be in. Because now Ming Ming is facing elimination and needs to guess right. And then not only do they need to guess right, they need to actually like assemble a board that beats this Zhang Ximing board. Like, it's pretty easy, I think, for Zhang Ximing to just like send this again. It's not a lot of combinations.
Even if they win, they also have to like kind of deal max damage.
Exactly, yeah. So like
I think they have to win by like a margin of like 80 or 90 HP to eliminate the Zhang Ximing.
This is one of those spots where you might consider just like running a board that does not work if your opponent doesn't play this exact board again. You know what I mean? Like you put a card in slot 3 that will be actively bad if you play it, just expecting it to get sided, or slot 2 rather, and then just like play your agility.
The level 1 crane footwork seems to be a good compromise, where they still get 30 agility even if the crane gets sided. Or level 1 6 agility also. Zhang Ximing playing extremely suspicious on their board now.
Over the second Fletch, sure.
Still respecting predicament, but now the predicament is not there anymore.
This is an even round. I think Ming Ming can actually potentially go first here. Oh, they took solid foundation though, didn't they? Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they can go first even if they ate all their cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zhang Ming runs back the same line, and I think Ming Ming finds a line that is pretty good that also just happens to kind of easily beat what the Zhang Ming's doing. Maybe easily is a stretch, but like this is kind of a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage.
They actually get to play a Soul Season this time, which means they don't just die to their own cards.
Yeah, it makes this extremely suspicious.
Extremely suspicious does a surprising amount there.
It does, but yeah.
They do. The Ming Ming does barely make it.
Yeah, but like this is what.
But again, like they didn't win by enough to eliminate the Zhang Ming, so we get yet another round.
And this is what we mean. Like that's such a well sort of crafted board by Ming Ming, and it's like a narrow win. Zhang Ming did eat a lot of their cards, though they do have plenty of exchanges to potentially still assemble a kill here.
But now it's interesting because like probably both players are incentivized to change their boards, so it's not just like can you beat the previous line, it's can you predict what your opponent will do.
Definitely. And
Zhang Ming definitely trying to make something happen with this extremely suspicious. Meanwhile, Ming Ming appears to be playing all rough sprites.
You do what you gotta do.
Which, so this line loses to all rep sprites. What they need to do is have the detect G go straight into this side.
Right.
Which they can do here.
Does this even work the way the Ming Ming wants it to? Into the sides? I guess you're first. I guess they never play a side, right? Yeah, of course. The important thing is that side never gets played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a risky line to take. And like we see here, the Zhang Ming is now chasing the detect G into the side. But electing to play the fly instead, which will get them killed.
Yeah, that is yeah, that's a rough. I mean, it is the advantage of running out a line that you have not presented yet, right? It is one thing your opponent may simply
trying to get cute with the extremely suspicious, but
yeah,
they are gonna lose to the classic final round Chi deny.
Oh, look at that! You get a little upgrade too.
It is just not gonna matter.
No, this Zhang Ming is just not gonna play a relevant card.
I will be right back.
No worries. Keep chat company for the finals as we watch this Zhang Ming get devastated. Or maybe not. Not if Subnova pauses the stream. But yes, this is a win for the Ming Ming. We can all
I'm back. Yeah.
Should have unpaused the stream. There you go. Yeah, so we know how this is gonna go. The Ming Ming has 150 max HP. They're gonna not drop below 140, and then they're gonna start healing. Is this gonna be on YouTube later? Yeah, turns out I'll upload this probably in a couple of videos.
Recording going okay over there?
Seems to be. I mean, I won't know until the stream's over how well it captured it all, but hopefully. And the classic.
Yeah, the commentator finally speeding it up, realizing that nothing is going to happen here.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, we've seen Musician DX take down 2 lobbies in a row. Definitely a strategy that is still very much alive, if underrepresented.